Hurry, they're almost gone.
Oh, we're on right now. Talk. Well, we got some silence here. AJ, let's hear what you're doing over there.
Well, tonight's show is Dogfish Head. So I've decided to try to get drunk as quickly as possible on the show tonight and mix a 2012 Dogfish Head 120 with a 2014 Worldwide Stout to do the Heaven and Hell half and half.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa. Well, while you're doing that, welcome everybody to the 90th episode of What You Drinking. We got quite a crowd today so far, and we might have a couple more jumping in. So I want to thank AJ, Brandon, Dan, and Mike. Thanks for joining us. We've got Dogfish Head beers, hopefully. If not, no big deal. Anytime we have the wheel spinning, it's just for fun. So if you don't have the same beer, it's no big deal. Jump on and drink whatever. Just as Brandon's doing right now. What do you got there, Brandon?
Well, right now I'm not drinking craft. I'm going for a 2 malt liquor challenge in one night. I had the Natty malt liquor earlier. Now I'm going higher gravity with Natty Daddy. This is from Anheuser-Busch, and never had this before. I picked it up at a gas station in Cecilia, Louisiana on Sunday. So for $1.49 a can, 25 ounces, we'll see how it drinks tonight, folks.
That's a can of happy.
That is a big can, man.
It is. It's a big can.
How about you, Mike? How you doing? It's been a while since you've been around, so glad you were able to join us.
I as well. I'm doing okay. In honor of the 90th episode, on the Dogfish Head night, I have the Dogfish 90-minute IPA.
There you go.
It's a classic. It's one of those beers that I really like, but I don't seem to pick it up very often. But it's double IPA, but it's got the very resiny, malty sort of flavors that are really good, and so it's a classic.
Man, this is gonna be dangerous. I don't even know how you're gonna do this, AJ, but that's awesome, Mike. I haven't had that beer in forever. I was actually just looking at it on the shelves the other day.
The 90-minute?
Yeah, the 90-minute. It's been a while. I almost got the 60-minute because that's just a solid beer, and I just overlook it a lot now these days because there's so much to choose from. But that's a solid beer. And the 90-minute it's just classic. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ABV on that one?
9.
9%, yeah.
Nice. So how about you, Dan? What you got there?
I kind of went in the last minute. I got this today, and it actually just did chill in time. This is a collaboration with Sierra Nevada. This is Rising Vines. So they've put out a number of these over the years. They don't say what they just said torpedo dry hopped from. They don't really say what's in it, except that they're estate grown caramel malts. And torpedo dry hopping from the west. So I have no idea what that means. Except that there's.
Do you know if that's a replacement for the Life and Limb?
It could be. Yeah, Life and Limb is on the label as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of in small letters, and then you got a bunch of hop vines around that, and then you've got Rising Vines below as the larger lettering. And I've had it before. I was kind of hesitant to go to this one because I've had it before, and it's good, but it's not like knock you over the top of your noggin good. At least last time I did it. This time it's a little different. I think it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. I love that beer. I haven't had that in forever. I'm laughing at Brandon's faces though. Brandon, what was that face you just made when you took a drink of that? That was fucking great.
It's sweet.
It's like.
It drinks easy, but give me a Natty Ice over this beer. But like I said, I mean, if you want a log, Unique's and Untapped, grab this beer. If not, then if you don't care about that, then don't grab this beer. That's my opinion.
I'm going to buy one just because you're drinking it.
Me too. You're quite
And
the
when I check it in on Untapped, I'm going to hashtag Brandon is crazy. or ghetto craft for life.
Ghetto crap.
Ghetto craft for life.
So AJ, what does that glass look like? Did you pour the whole beers in there, or you can't?
I did. I am drinking out of a very large, oversized English crystal snifter that normally is suited for me wearing a smoking jacket with a pipe and some cognac in it. But
That's got to be like 30%.
I think the technical term is like a fish bowl.
It almost looks like a fishbowl. Yes.
That's got to be like over 30% in your glass right now.
Yeah.
Because what's the worldwide is 15 to 20, depending on whatever year. Because my bottle doesn't even say what it is on this one.
They never do. They never.
I'm not sure they know.
On the bottle. 2014, I think, was for worldwide. I think it was 18, and I think 120. The 2012 120 was also 18. So you figure two 18% beers in one glass at the same time, gentlemen. Cheers to Dogfish Head.
Cheers.
Cheers to them. Wish I was drinking Dogfish Head tonight. So there you go.
It's all right, Brandon. We just want you on the show. Doesn't matter what you're drinking.
Oh, it's so
all right.
smooth.
It's man, it smells really it's chocolatey and real boozy. And then when you taste it, this could age for I don't know at least a couple more years before the booze kind of kicks down a little bit. But this is killer.
No. The booze on this 120 is coming through real hard right now.
How do you know which beer it is?
Trust me, I know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe taught me that when I was a kid.
That's right. He's a real American hero. So wait a minute, does that kind of be like the ultra imperial red ale, or I mean, once you've kind of done the malt bill on both of those and combined them together, is it a black and tan? Is it an amber the size of Montana?
Yeah, hold it up.
What is it?
Can we see light through it, or?
No, it's completely black.
Oh man.
It is.
Wow.
It definitely took on all the SRM of the worldwide stout. It still has it has a nice small head that I think is going to last throughout the tasting. Pretty good carbonation still on it. It tastes very much of malty bitterness. So it's really you still get some of that chocolate note out of the worldwide, but then it hits you with a shot of bitter, and then it kicks you in the teeth with alcohol. So
and then for all that, there's the little bit of shame at the end.
No, there's no shame.
No shame.
I was going to say that's like 20 or 30 minutes after.
We'll have a sexy dance party at 9:40. So
there you go.
So I have a question that's non-related, AJ. Your dog.
Which dog?
Has the one that hasn't moved since last week. That dog has been in that position the whole episode last week and it has not moved.
Totally true.
Listen, man. He has a hard life. He's like 10 years old. He just walks around here, loves love, thinks he's a 75-pound lap dog. So when he wants to sleep, I let him sleep, man. You know.
That's awesome. I'm just kidding. I love it, man.
How many flips has that dog gone through, man?
What's that?
It's like, how many bong hits has that dog had? He's totally looking like he's like, oh man.
His dog lawyer's not here. You can't answer that.
That's awesome. So Brandon, it's been a while since we've had you around. What you been up to? What's are you still? Were you moving? I can't remember what the last update we had from you was.
Well, I've been going back and forth between Louisiana and Mississippi, and I went to Zapp's Beer Fest on Saturday. I sent you a text, sent you a text from Zapp's.
Yep.
Didn't upload any pictures to Google Plus or anything like that, but pretty much it's one of the big beer fests in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and pretty much I'm still associated with a home brewing club out there, so went out there, served beer, and it pour down rain for about 20 minutes, and we had some diehards still coming out to get beer despite all the rain, and our tents had giant puddles, but we still kicked a lot of kegs. And of course, after the rain stopped, I just started wandering around, and they attacked a keg of our Bourbon County, one of the tents, the Goose Island tent, and that was it's like, okay, there was a big line for that. I said, you know what, I'm getting in line, as opposed to, cutting because I had a vendor bracelet. I could have cut, probably. I mean, nobody would have stopped me, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, I want to wait in line and talk to people, because that's part of the fun of it. So I did that rather than just take advantage of my privilege, so to speak, and it was fun. It was a fun beer fest despite all the rain, and had some really good beers. One of my friends brewed an awesome smoke beer. Of course, he brews smoke beers quite a bit. He uses Rauch malt in it. You get that if you like German smoked beers. He brews them. They're freaking awesome. So I was glad to
Like a
have
campfire.
one of those. What's that?
It doesn't taste like a campfire, because that's how I judge Rauch beers. The more they taste like a campfire, the better they are.
Right.
I'd agree with that.
I'm a big fan of smoked beers. I know a lot of people aren't, but I've had beers that actually taste like smoked ham, like German Rauch box, where you taste it, and I'm like, why do I taste ham? And it's super weird, and then I'll give it to somebody, and they're like, holy crap, it's ham.
Yeah, it's
Why
crazy.
do I want to drink ham? I'm like, because it tastes delicious. Just drink it.
That's right.
A lot of them remind me of bacon, because it's.
Yep.
I mean,
Bacon, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
That's cool though, Brendan. I didn't. I've always thought about doing that, volunteering at Beer Fest, because it's a nice way to get tickets, or to get into the fest, but also you just learn a lot and you meet a lot of cool people. I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing that for a while, or is that the first time you ever done that?
No, this is the second time I did it. Of course, I ran into Carlos Snott as well. Skylar had a picture with him. He's the founder of Bayou Tesh. He had a picture with him, and
I saw that.
I ran into Carlos, and I was like, "Hey, man, you took a picture of my friend Skylar at Galveston." It's like, "Oh yeah." So it's like when I did the brewery tour, it was one of his brothers, but I didn't tell him that. But he said it's changed in the last year since you've been here. We have French brands and stuff like that, so pretty much it's gotten a lot different since in the last year since I've been there. So I'd definitely like to go back and check it out.
It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that beer that you sent me from them. That was awesome. Mike, what's going on by you guys? Any news or updates? What's been going on over at? Sorry, I can't think of the name right now. Because I was just looking at something else about Jack's Abbey. But what's the other brewery that you're always?
Trillium?
Yeah, Trillium. Thank you. What's new with them? I've seen a couple of reviews from them online from some other people that I follow on YouTube. But
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I think when I was on last time, we were talking about Jack's Abbey and Trillium and how they're both expanding. Trillium is staying where they are in sort of downtown Boston, but they're also opening up a much larger brewery in Canton, Mass. So it's about 20 minutes south of Boston. And Jack's Abbey, from what I can tell, is leaving the place where they are right now, just moving to a much larger building, staying in the same city in Framingham, which is, we've been there. It's like 10, 15 minutes from my house, so pretty close.
Yeah.
But they're staying same town, just a much bigger building. So good for both of them, both expanding, so it's pretty exciting. I guess Trillium is kind of keeping the Boston brewery as more of a not experimental so much as some doing their small batch stuff there, keeping the tasting room there as kind of their flagship tasting room. But going to the suburbs, they're just going to be able to do so much more in terms of getting more people in there, offering full pours as opposed to the tastings, which they only can do in the city at the moment, and offering food and tours and that sort of thing. I think they're going to kind of go all out at the new place.
No, wait. Actually, let me interrupt for a second because I'm going to be visiting Boston this weekend, and I'd noticed that they didn't serve food there, and you're kind of talking like there's some regulatory issues that are stopping them from doing some things. What exactly is going on with that as far as the city of Boston is concerned? Because I hadn't heard that, and that's curious.
Oh, good. So actually, I was going to ask you because remember we talked a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about coming out here, and I was going to ask you when you were coming, because so good to know. At the moment, Trillium does not have a license to pour samples.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? They have a bathroom, from what I understand.
What's that?
I was told they don't have a bathroom.
No, they do not.
You're kidding me.
No. So this is very important to know. Okay, so Trillium is great place to visit, it used to be a great place to sample their beer, but when they lost their license back at the end of November, they were essentially shut down for almost a month and a half. And when they came back, they were able to get their license to brew and to sell, but they never got their license back to pour samples.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bummer, and it's a bummer, but at the same time, when they got shut down, they were so busy that they were limiting what they would pour for samples anyway. If they had like 5-6 beers for growler fills, they would only let you sample 1 or 2 of them, because people, you'll see, it's such a small area that people would just pack in there and they couldn't get anything done. I'd recommend going because the beers are fantastic. You can buy a couple bottles and it's good. There's also a couple bars on a few doors down from them that will always have their beers on tap. Row 34 is the name of one. It's one restaurant that's right next door to them that always has at least one of their beers on tap. So definitely go there.
Okay. No, because we're going to be staying in Salem, so we might be. Okay. Yeah, and my wife's cousin lives in town there. It sounds like she knows a couple of brew pubs in town that will be pouring something, and I'm guessing that Trillium will be on tap somewhere in that area. But I've been seeing that. What's the one out in Cambridge? Monk something or not? No, that's not the brewery.
Pretty Things.
No, not Pretty Things.
Pretty Things beer is fantastic.
They are really good.
They have good beer, let me tell you.
All right.
I still think that Baby Tree is one of the best beers that I've had from them, and still the most disturbing beer label I've ever seen in my life.
Which one?
Baby Tree.
I don't know that one.
If you haven't looked up the label for Baby Tree, look at it and tell me what some of those things are in the tree, and then you'll understand why.
Yeah. It is a good beer though too.
Great beer, love it. Just real quick to go back to Trillium though. I didn't know Trillium existed until 2 weeks ago. I normally do a Sunday beer tasting, bottle share at my house, and I had a new guy who was a friend of a friend show up, and they were just out in Boston, and he brought the Mosaic Dry Hopped Fort Pale, Fort Pale Ale. I'll tell you what, man, I almost fell out of my chair how good this beer was. It was one of the best. On tap they call it an American Pale Ale. I don't know if that's actually true, because it really tasted like what an IPA should taste like a really good double IPA.
Yeah,
but
Wait, are those little babies hanging in the tree?
Look at it on a bigger screen, and then come back and we'll discuss it in an after show or something.
Okay, I'm a little freaked out.
There are babies in the tree.
This is very disturbing.
Four Point is a pale ale, but then they've come out with a few different varieties of it, including the dry hopped with Mosaic, and you're right. It's hoppy. It's an IPA.
Yeah, and really one of the best examples of the style that I think I've had in a very long time. And I was shocked shocked how good it was, but I was shocked that it was from a brewery that I didn't even know existed, because I'm pretty on top of the beer now. You know, the beer news and all these breweries popping up, especially on the East Coast.
Mhm.
And I've never heard of it, and this thing just blew me away. So now I just want more and more from them to see if it's all that good as that. The beer
I
that
only
has.
know of them because of Mike. He brought me into that world. That was everything I've had. What was that one that you just mentioned? What's the pale ale?
Fort Point.
Yeah,
Point.
that is so good. Do they barrel age anything ever?
Yeah. Actually, I've got in my fridge downstairs. It's a Belgian that was aged in rum barrels, which sounds really unique. So I'm excited to try that one
Tasty.
in the near
Rum
future.
barrels scare me though. Like I've had, I'm actually trying to think if I've ever had a good rum barrel beer.
I don't think I've ever had one.
I have had a great one. Mike, did I send you a Bishop's Barrel 6?
You sent me what was the Pumpkinator one?
The Bishop's Barrel 6 was the Rumkinator.
You did not send me that one. Or yeah, you did.
Oh.
Yeah, you did. That is the one that you sent.
Yeah, that's a rum
That was
barrel
awesome.
aged Pumpkinator. That was fantastic, by the way.
That was good.
All right, because I can tell you that the rum barreled Southern Tier pumpkin was awful.
Ooh.
Like I drain poured it, and I don't drain pour beers. I had 3 guys over here. We split it 3 ways, and we all were like, "Holy crap! This tastes like 14-day-old extra buttered stale movie theater popcorn." Down the drain. It was awful.
Speaking of possible drain pour beers, Dan, you recently were surprised by the Rogue stout. Is it a stout that they made with sriracha?
Yeah, actually, that one wasn't. The Rogue's Sriracha Stout. That was not a drain pour. I was shocked. Well, I shouldn't say I was shocked. No, it wasn't. It was actually really good. What I was waiting for was the garlic and the salt and sriracha to come knocking on my tongue and saying, "I got you, sucker," and
Right.
it didn't do it. It just hit with heat. It got the heat, and then once you got past the heat, underneath that
How is
was
the heat,
coffee
though?
and chocolate. What's that?
How is the heat though?
The heat
Like-
is hot enough. I mean, okay. Well, for comparison, have you had Sculpin habanero
Yeah.
Sculpin? Okay,
Multiple people, yes.
not as hot as that. Have you had Saga? Was it Sagatuck? What is their pepper? Serrano. Their Serrano pepper beer. No, you probably haven't. That's Michigan. That's probably a little less heat, but still heat enough. This was kind of sitting right in the middle, so it's not Sculpin, habanero Sculpin hot, but it's hot enough that you feel it, and it persists throughout the entire experience, but it does not overshadow the other flavors. I think that habanero Sculpin's, probably biggest selling point and its biggest weakness is the fact that it punches you in the mouth with habanero. I mean, that was the one beer where I got to the end of that bottle and I was like, that beer tasted flaming green. It was like fire and green.
Hold on. There's a secret to habanero Sculpin that most people don't know.
Yes.
It makes it much better.
Yes.
Get yourself a really good plain cheese pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can
And
see
have
that.
a bottle of habanero Sculpin and just like your favorite plain cheese pizza. Because a lot of people I know, like I'm a spice head. I like super hot stuff. And if I get a plain cheese pizza, I'm always tossing like red pepper flakes on it or some
Right.
sort of like thing to spice it up a little bit. I'll tell you what, man, a habanero Sculpin with a plain cheese pizza, you don't need to add anything to the pizza. A habanero Sculpin balances out perfectly, and it's probably one of the best pizza experiences you'll ever have.
Well,
That's a
no,
good point.
I can totally see that. Now, what I mean is that I don't think it's a bad thing that it is so unbalanced. I mean, because that's obviously what they're going for. They're kicking your ass. And I think that the way that they pull it off is actually very artful, and it's delicious. But the thing of it is that it is you don't have the hop presence there anymore. You might as well ignore the malt bill because it all fades into irrelevancy because it's all about peppers in your mouth, which is a good thing.
I don't know if I agree with that though, because
Really?
like, yeah, for me, I get the heat up front, but then like I can't even say the mouth feel. It's more like the throat feel, or the throat flavor of the beer is where I get like that hop present. The heat only for me. And again, I'm a spice head. You know, I drink Ghostface Killer by myself, because I'm stupid. But you know, for the habanero sculpin, I still got the sculpin-esque qualities to it. But for me, it was a hit of habanero up front, and that was the mouthfeel and the mouth taste. And then when I swallowed, it was more of the sculpin quality to it. It could be just like different palate, different taste buds kind of deal, but that's how I saw it. And I still I don't think it's as well balanced as a grapefruit sculpin, because you still get a really high profile of sculpin with the grapefruit. You get the citrus on the nose of the grapefruit. You get the citrus kick right up front, and then it turns into sculpin.
Right.
Habanero is a little bit more in your face than that, but I still get a little bit of that sculpin quality on the back end of it.
Yeah, I think you might, but it's definitely subdued by comparison. I mean, and that's a perfect example. Is going with grapefruit sculpin versus habanero sculpin. Is that, you know, habanero sculpin, and I think that's kind of what we're alluding to when you're talking about it hitting the back of your throat and just kind of, you know, what it does to you know, set your tongue on fire. It's a sensory experience, whereas grapefruit is really more of a flavor experience. You know, habanero is not trying to make your mouth go woo with a sense of you know, heat or cold or whatever, or even bitter. I mean, it's doing it with the flavor of grapefruit. And habanero sculpin is definitely trying to light your mouth on fire. I mean, in a good way. And that's what I'm keep kind of going back to, is that its weakness and its kind of failure too is that is its big reveal. But if that's not your reveal, then you don't want to drink this beer. You know. Right. Then you're done.
I'm looking at the chat over here, and Stone, Crime, and Punishment were mentioned. I can tell you from being a spice head and being super excited to see that somebody was putting Trinidad scorpion peppers in a beer, that I expected so much out of these beers from a heat level, because Trinidad scorpion I think are still maybe the highest Scoville peppers out there. And I had Ghostface Killer, and Ghostface Killer is 6 chili peppers. Ghost peppers are obviously the hottest, but they have Serrano, Anaheim, jalapeno, habanero. I think there was one more. Ghostface Killer pretty much kicked my ass. So when I had Crime and Punishment, I was expecting to be destroyed because it had Trinidad in it. They sucked as far as a heat perspective. At least for me. I had people that I split. I had both of them. We split the bottle maybe with 5 people of both the Crime and Punishment. And there were some people like, oh my god, this is so hot, I can't drink it. And I basically was sipping it like it was a Dogfish 60. Where's the heat, guys? Come on, where's the heat? So I was really disappointed on those 2 beers. I would take Ghostface Killer any day over that. But
well, personally, I didn't like those beers because, like I said, that was one of the few times I actually drain poured a beer. I did drain pour Crime. I don't drain pour beers often, but I did drain pour. It's look, 3 sips, and I don't like this beer. I don't want to force myself to drink it. It's I can't find any redeeming qualities in this beer. I mean,
did you drink the bottle by yourself, Brandon?
Yeah. Okay,
so that's why. That's why. Disclaimer for everybody out there in Spice Land who wants to try all these. I was warned before Ghostface Killer. It's Twisted Pines is the brewery that makes Ghostface Killer. I had a friend of mine that was out of GABF. He was at the brewery, and it was when it first came out. And I'm a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know if folks are here familiar with the Wu-Tang Clan, but there's a guy named Ghostface Killer in the Wu-Tang Clan. The label on it is awesome, and I'm a spice head, so I'm like, can you just grab me 2 bottles from the brewery, ship them out to me? I just want to see what they are. He's like, okay, but I had it, so I'm gonna give you my advice. Get 6 people, including yourself, and pour 2 ounces each, because that's what all you can stand.
Wow.
12. It's 12-ounce bottles, so 2 ounces apiece for 6 people. I didn't listen, and I drank an entire 12-ounce bottle by myself. I hated myself for about 3 days. All I'm gonna say. But now I'm used to it, so now I could drink a bottle by myself anytime.
But I was gonna say, because I'm not usually a big peppery beer. Like I don't like too much spice in a beer, but I can see your idea of pairing it with a food that you would normally, spice up with some pepper, or because I do the same thing with pizza. I'll put the sriracha, or I'll put the crushed red pepper on that. But if you don't need to because of the beer, that's an awesome pairing right there. So I think that's a way to go with those kind of beers if you're not that big into that kind of style. Because I remember like early on in my experimental days with craft beer, I tried that Rogue
Chipotle.
Yeah, God, I hated that beer when I first tried it. But I wonder if
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
I wonder if I would like it now. I mean, that was like way back in the day, and I don't
even think they make it anymore, do they?
I was just gonna say I haven't seen it, let alone tried it. So I don't know, but but pairing it with like pizza or something like that, that's a great idea, and I might.
Or even chili. If you're having like a chili,
yes.
and you don't think it's like maybe it has enough spice to it, wow, I just blew my own mind.
Because it was a good idea. It is a good idea.
No, I just made it better in my mind. Why don't you add habanero sculpin to your chili?
Oh, there you go.
In the chili while you're cooking it.
That's where I thought you were going.
Well, no,
awesome.
I was thinking about like the pizza combination and like having a habanero sculpin while you're eating some chili. But then I was like, oh crap, put it in your chili. That might be awesome.
Because like, why would you make chili without putting beer in there anyway, so you might as well put a beer like that in there. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, dude.
Well, you can actually do a lot of marinating with that too. If you're going to be barbecuing and you want to do like a spicy marinade, there's already like evidence that beer is actually going to make any barbecue that you make less carcinogenic. Right. So it's a health option. You can put as many quotes as you want around that, but it's probably true to a certain extent.
Where's your glass at, AJ? How far are you down this thing? I want to see how drunk you are.
Jesus Christ! Oh my, yeah, I know.
I think I'm further than you, my friend.
He's got 5 minutes left.
Right now.
Wait, there's Mike.
How are you talking, man?
Back.
AJ, I gotta say, what you did. I have glasses like that in storage. Pretty much, me doing a 40 of Magnum plus a 25-ounce can of Natty Daddy back-to-back does not compare. It does not compare.
I'm actually somewhat sweating right now, just so everyone knows. like just the heat from the alcohol in this is ridiculous.
Hey, I'm glad you're back, Mike. I was just seeing there was a story a couple days ago that Jack's Abbey's expanding temporarily. It looks like for a limited time into eastern Pennsylvania. So I don't know where you're at, AJ, but if you've never had any Jack's Abbey.
No, they actually just started distributing out to northeastern Pennsylvania here. I had I'm friends with a person that used to be a rep for Weyerbacher. And he just recently got a job at Tired Hands. So he left Weyerbacher, and he has a I don't know if it's a sales position or a marketing position at Tired Hands. But he introduced me to Jack Abbey's probably about 3 or 4 months ago. I was at a beer fest with him. He asked me to pour with him. So he was like, "Yeah, I brought the 6-pack. Try some of this," and it was awesome. And I just found out that they're going to start distributing more and more of their core products out here in northeastern Pennsylvania. So I'm happy about it.
Nice. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So we got Dogfish Head beers. Is that what it was?
We do.
AJ's drinking a couple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, we've got some.
I have a batch one Robert Johnson's Hellhound on my ale in the fridge behind me too.
Just pour it in your glass, man. Pour it in that one.
Pour it now.
No, I'm kidding.
You got the Hellhound. Wow, look at that. That is psychic.
I never
right
had it.
there.
Never had it. So I was in a hurry. I grabbed the first thing that was Dogfish Head, and it was this one, and I hadn't even looked at it until right
now.
now.
Really delicious beer. It's my second favorite music beer that Dogfish has done. Music related beer.
Bitches Brew is the best.
Batch 1 Bitches Brew is by far one of the most amazing stouts I've ever had.
Huh.
I have 2 bottles left.
I have one of last year and one of this year's.
That was the one where it was the first episode of his show, his short-lived show, right?
Yeah, that was the Miles Davis.
Yeah, okay, that's the Bitches Brew one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought when I grabbed this...
Contact was really, really good. That would probably be my third favorite. That actually came with a vinyl, which was awesome.
Nice.
I want to listen to Robert Johnson.
What's the style in that, Kevin?
That's what I didn't know until it says it's an ale brewed with lemons, and so I didn't realize. As I was logging on here, I saw on the side they got the story about it, and it's for the 100th birthday of Robert Johnson, and so it's like 100 IBUs and 10 and 100 of everything, 100% something or other, 10%. I'd have to read it to figure it out, but there's a lot of hundreds and 10.0s highlighted on the label.
Sounds like AJ's beer. This dude, he's got the Worldwide Stout, same one I've got here. This is the 2014.
Oh, wow, I haven't had it in a long time. That's good.
He's got that, but what do you have it poured in there with?
2012 120.
Oh, wow. Adventure.
You got 2 18% beers in one glass. and before the show, he was saying how he just got tattooed earlier today, so he's been bleeding. He hasn't really eaten. And he's drinking a lot of
Really?
Primed.
Two tattoos on his arm today. Haven't eaten since 11.
Jeez.
Had a beer when I got home. Now I'm drinking the heaven and hell.
I was gonna say that one glass alone is like having 3 meals worth of like calories right there.
That's nothing compared to how much his dog has drank. Look at that thing on the bed over there.
That dog has not drank a drop. He is purely a bug man.
He has a drug problem. Leave him alone. He was in a war. He has PTSD. He's on medication. You leave him alone. He's a veteran. God damn it! Respect him.
Is he a pit?
He's a boxer pit.
Oh, nice.
A boxer
How old?
pit. He is 10. 10
He
years
deserves
old.
He deserves an all-day nap then.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if I said this on the show last week or if it was the after show or whatever, but I got him right before he turned 1. He was abused. He was underfed, neglected ribs, and everything. And for as bad of a rap as Pitbull, this dog loves everyone. He thinks he's a 75-pound lapdog. He has a vicious bark, but if somebody tried to rob my house, he would bark while they were coming in, and he would wag his tail for them to pet him once they walked in the door. So he's not a dog at all. So the Pitbull's bad rap comes from bad owners, and if you train a dog right, no, it doesn't matter what breed it is, it's gonna come out being a loving animal and a loving companion. So treat your pets right. As Bob Barker would say, get your pets spayed and neutered to control the pet population. And that's my soapbox disclaimer. Done.
I agree. Pits are really sweet. They're strong as fuck, so you really do have to make sure that they're well trained.
Their tail can knock your ass out. His tail is so strong it isn't funny.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same with the Doberman as well. I mean, if you raise a Doberman to be an attack dog, yes, it can be an attack dog. If you raise a Doberman to be a good, loving animal, same difference.
Hey, Dan, you mentioned something about the Dogfish Head show that, or no, was it Kevin? The Dogfish Head show? One of you guys, I forget.
No, it was Kevin.
I was on the Dogfish Head YouTube channel. They've been putting up a lot of videos lately, and they're kind of doing like a question and answer thing with Twitter. So he'll take a bunch of questions that they've received on their Twitter account and kind of answer them live in that big old treehouse that they've got. And
I remember that.
they apparently someone was asking, like, is there any like lost footage that you guys never used from the show, because they only did one season. And he was like, it was really fun doing that, and it was a good experience, but it's kind of hard to do a show and do that kind of stuff. But I guess their plans are to do something similar online, so they're not having to worry about like a network. There's probably a bunch of bullshit that they don't have to deal with again, but apparently there's going to be like an online presence similar to the show, so it'd kind of be cool to see. Because I dug the show a little bit, but it was obviously scripted in most parts because they were at risk of losing a batch of beer every episode pretty much. But there's only so much drama that you can create within a brewery. So, but it's
Brewers in peril.
Yeah, so they're
I will say this. I love Sam. He's obviously a pioneer of craft beer. I think he's a hilarious dude. I've met him a couple times. I've talked to his wife quite a bit when Google Plus first started out. I think the show was good, but I think Brewdogs took it to a different level. Because
Brewdogs did exactly what I.
That's true.
The Brewdog show is so much better than any other beer show out there. I just want to hang with those dudes and get drunk with them, because I think it would be the most hilarious time of my life.
Yeah, I agree. I always said that a reality show in one brewery just doesn't work. You have to go to. There's so many breweries in this country now. Why wouldn't you do that? And they took it and they went with it, and they're entertaining. They're just like great behind the camera, and they're
hilarious.
I agree. I think they put on a great show. I'm looking forward to the new season starting next month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, season 3 starting, and they actually filmed. They did a collaboration with Founders, and I think Chris Phillips was in the area. I don't think he was there when they were doing it, but he had mentioned it to me that they closed a bunch of streets off or whatever around Founders to do some stuff with Brewdog guys. So I'm looking forward to that, because I've been to Founders. I was hanging out in the area, so. It'll be very interesting to see where they go. Are they going to bars that I was in when I was out there, kind of deal? It's a great show. It's a great freaking show.
I agree. It's a great beer show, and I think it's good to bring people who maybe aren't even into beer, into it, because they're just entertaining. And I thought the second season was much better done than the first, even though I love the first season. But just the production value and the just the quality of the show is good. They even split it up and hit a couple breweries in one episode. I think that was a really good idea and a way to go.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
I'm right here. You're beating me. I got another beer I might finish up, because I opened something last night that I couldn't quite finish before the end of the evening, so I might pop that one.
You what?
It was the
What happened?
What happened? Nothing.
He died.
This time happened, guys.
He actually died halfway through it.
No. So, anyways, I was going to say Founders. When I was in Grand Rapids like a month ago, I drove past it, and the expansion. I mean, when we were there for my bachelor party last year, it was expanded quite a bit from even the previous time I was there. It's twice as big now. They have.
Oh yeah.
They have attached a huge. It looked like maybe 5 stories of offices on top of what we saw. It's crazy how big that place is getting. It's insane.
Well, and they weren't just going up either. They were going out. which is what's really kind of impressive about that, is that the entire footprint is expanded like another city block, and you just wonder, when is it going to become the town of founders? You know, they're going to incorporate. They're going to have to at a certain point.
It's Beer City, USA, I think is their nickname.
Yeah, what Founders or Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids. It's called Beer City, USA.
Yeah, but it's pretty soon it's going to have to be Founders.
I don't know. I think there's too many good beers in those. There's like three. I think it's three main central areas in Michigan that have 3 to 4 really high quality breweries in area.
Yep.
So you can really say that. Like Grand Rapids is Beer City, like Beer City, USA, because you can go to the other like 2 areas in Michigan and be like, all right, well these beers are just as good as Founders, and the around Founders,
Even better.
We hit like 13 or 14 breweries.
Look up all the breweries in Michigan, dude. There's so many. There's so many breweries in Michigan. It's an undiscovered paradise, I tell you.
Yeah, I was there for 3 days, and I hit like 13 or 14 breweries in 3 days, and every single one was like almost on par with each other. Like I don't think there was one brewery that I went into and said, you know what, this is far inferior than Founders. Like all of them were that good.
Well, I'm almost thinking it's no longer just a Michigan thing. It's really becoming sort of a regional corridor thing. And what I mean by that is that if you look at Michigan, Northwest Indiana, and Chicago, and then up and even into Wisconsin, you see this contiguous line of brewing culture that kind of follows the lip of the lake. What's that?
St. Louis too.
Well, St. Louis does. They're a little bit further away because they're not on the lake. But I'm thinking more this Lake Michigan sort of halo around the Great Lakes area.
Think about the balls you have to start up a small craft brewery in St. Louis.
Oh God!
And there's a ton of them doing it. Like mark my words.
Why wouldn't you?
Mark my words.
Yeah, what better?
St. Louis.
No, I think AJ's right. It's.
I agree. I'm making a joke a little bit, but like, Four Hands Brewing out of St. Louis. Mark my words, they're going to be huge. They
already are. They're bringing it,
dude. They have put out nothing but they're amazing. Like, have you tried that chocolate milk stout? It's.
I think so.
You would have to grab that away from any child and say this is not chocolate milk and pull it away because it's so delicious. I mean, I swear to God, I have one of those and I'm like, this is like a dessert. It's so freaking good. It's awesome. Yeah, their beers and all the ones that they can are amazing. They have, I think they do the chocolate milk stout in bottles too, but I mean, it's awesome. A lot of their stuff is great. What's another?
Isn't that Prairie Artisan Ales that's out of St. Louis too?
Yep.
I mean, my God, you're talking about some of the most sought after beers in the United States, right there.
They're barley.
And it's. I mean, it's funny, and the South is catching up now finally too, which is nice because the laws are finally catching up. I mean, talk about legal constraints that have been keeping things sort of under wraps, but Cigar City, Sweetwater just had an event up here at Firkin here.
Yeah, they're going to be here in Chicago. They're in Chicago now.
Yeah, they're in Chicago now. They're just entering in, but they're making their presence known big, and it's good to see because it's like finally, everybody has got the legal. Yeah, I hope that
they're in Ohio now.
Way.
They're going to be in Ohio.
Are they really?
Well, they're going to be this year. I was just reading. They're going to be Ohio, and then they mentioned 2 other states that they've got their eyes on.
But that's the whole thing. It's like going out to visit my family out in North Carolina. So hitting, that tiny patch of the southern states. It's sort of like you get that taste of it, and it's sort of like it's finally getting to the point where everybody needs to know about this stuff. I mean, it's been that way for a while with a lot of the brands. But you wonder when it's finally going to hit, and now it's finally hitting. It's funny to look at this and then look at GABF and look at the dominance of the Western states and think, You know what? Finally, we're going to be approaching parity when it comes to competitions like this with beers in the next, I would say, like 5 to 10 years, probably 5 years at most, because there's going to be a lot of people entering the field. Where you're not going to see that Oregon, Colorado, California sort of triumvirate of utter domination of craft beer. Texas is definitely making their presence known. Chicago, because you can't really say Illinois, it's really Chicago is where the big cluster is. That's kind of making a presence. Michigan is a entrenched presence that has just grown with time. That's going to get bigger with time. Wisconsin's the same way. It's interesting to see how the movement is sort of moving, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Yeah. Wait till you get more Louisiana from Bayou Teche and Parrish. I mean, pretty much once you get those, it's like, why even hiding this from us for so long? That's you're gonna say, Dan. I mean, Mike's had.
I was just gonna say, Brandon. St. Arnold, they're moving out. Well, they're not going up north, but they're expanding to Miami now. So everyone's expanding, even those ones that in the south that you were talking about.
Yep. Pretty much. Like I said, I sent you some Bayou Teche and some Parrish. I sent you the Grand Reserve, and I sent you was the Miel Sauvage from Bayou Teche.
The Bayou Teche one that you sent me wasn't it a smoked lager or what was the?
I might have sent you a Boucanay. That was their smoked lager. Their smoked their cherry wood smoked wheat ale. I know I sent you a Miel Sauvage, which is their braggot.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Yeah. That was the first one I opened actually, because I wasn't familiar with what a braggot was. I was like, I gotta try that.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I sent you some Parrish. I think I sent you the Grand Reserve that time.
Yeah, that was delicious. And that's so funny that Skylar got to meet with those guys and hang out. That was awesome.
It was awesome.
He looks busy. He's got like a bottle release going on this weekend. It looks like they had a small batch of some beer that they just did, but they're going to do a release this weekend. It looked like from what I saw on Google Plus.
Yeah, I'm waiting to find out when their tap room opens. I'm totally going to go out there. I'm just going to say, you know what? Taking some time off. I'm going out to Galveston.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So, Kev, I just saw the Naperville Ale Fest is being advertised. Sales tickets are going on sale soon.
I put it on the calendar sometime back. When I saw the date, maybe a month ago. It's usually July. I can't remember exactly what it was. Is that what it is? At the end of July?
I can't remember.
No, you don't remember. I put it on my calendar because I have not been to that one yet. I think this is the third annual. And the summer just gets so busy that the last couple of years haven't been able to.
It's the same folks that do the winter one that you've been to, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Swan was at the first Summer Ale Festival, and it was really good. And I know a bunch of guys that were at it last year. They say it's great. It's in a good spot in downtown Naperville.
Nice. Well, we were the three of us, you, me, and Dan. We were able to procure ourselves some Beer Under Glass tickets, which is the kickoff of Chicago Craft Beer Week.
I'm excited about that, especially since we'll be back in the greenhouse this year.
You know, I was prepared to buy some like rubber boots for this year's festival, but if you want to go indoors, that's fine too. But I agree. The first year we went was unbelievable.
One of the best I've been to.
I would say in Illinois, the best festival I've ever been to.
Okay.
If you're in Illinois or the Midwest and you looking for a good time, that's the fest to go to, I think.
When is that one?
Wait. As long as it's indoors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but as the person who came in on the off year, that is key. And make no mistake about it, people of the internet.
If you can't handle a little mud, then hide.
A little mud. They gave us early tickets this year because everybody said, "Oh my God, what the hell are we stepping in?"
I don't think that's why they did it.
Oh, look at the email. It
Yeah,
says,
I do. The
I'm
email
so
basically
glad
said-
that you braved the wet crap of last year. We're giving you an early access to tickets this
Wow.
year because of
Yeah.
that. That's exactly what they said.
I didn't read that much into the
Yeah. Oh no.
email.
I got that too. That was.
Yeah.
Good deal.
That's fine. That's fine because the indoors it's the best. It's just and it's like we didn't even. It's in a conservatory, so it's like for anyone who's watching or on right now who have no idea what we're talking about. It's a beer festival, but it's in like this conservatory where they have like all of these plant life that's growing the whole time, and it's nice and humid in there for the most part, but.
Especially for spring in Chicago.
It sounds like there's food too where you can.
There has been the last couple of years.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Dinky's Donuts? Remember how long the line was for
yeah,
donuts?
Yeah. That was actually bigger than most of the beer lines.
I know. But there was always some food, just a handful of.
You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, so that just went on sale for anyone who was at the fest last year. And they go on sale when? April 1st or something
Yeah,
like that?
next week, April 1st.
Yeah.
So it's
If there are any
awesome.
left.
I mean, it's absolutely every brewery in Illinois that's there. It's crazy. And I guess Half Acre's kicking a party at the end of that craft beer week for Chicago too, and they haven't put any detail out yet. But I remember the first year that they threw their party, it was something. I've seen video, I've seen photos. It was crazy. I think they had a DJ in the middle of the brewery, and they had like this huge, crazy raging party going on. So,
Actually, speaking of that, Revolution just had one of those. I guess I was just hearing about this too. It was it was like a week or two ago, and I guess there were like people from what's the one in St. Louis for? Oh, God damn it! You just said them earlier today.
Forehands?
Yeah, Forehands. Yeah, like it was either a brewer for Forehands or a rep for Forehands. Just kind of checked out and said, I'm done with the party because it was just they had had enough, and it wasn't so much that they had enough because it was bad. It was because they had just had enough to drink.
Let me tell you how good that party was.
It was insane.
I'll tell you how good that party was. I was at the Revolution Taproom on Kedzie the day after that party, and the guy giving our tour did not have a beer in his hand. He had a coffee, and he looked rough. He was like, I was at the party last night, and it was fun. So, anyways, we're getting kind of close to the end of the show. There was something I was going to say, but I lost it. But AJ, you were able to join us again. What's this?
Yeah. Decided to emergency reboot my PC. We'll go with that and not say it's the ghosts in my house that said I was too drunk. But I'm back.
All right.
Just
And
in
wait,
time to
because this is a Dogfish Head episode, I'm drinking out of a Dogfish Head butt plug
glass. That's what everyone calls that thing. It's hilarious.
That's really all I could call it. I'm drinking a Terrapin Hop Selection, which is apparently a brand new beer from Terrapin. I just got it today. I just saw it today the first time.
What did you say? Did you say Hopsecutioner?
No. Hop Selection. It's a single hop Imperial India Pale Ale. It's from the Terrapin Monster Beer Tour. It is an 8.6% ABV. I don't think they have IBUs on here. Let me check.
Can you say the name one more time? Because every time you say it, it cuts out.
Sounds like Max Headroom.
I know. What's the name of it?
Hop Selection.
Hop Selection.
There we go.
Hop Selection. Yes.
Very nice.
Wait, hold on. I will just do this.
Here it comes.
There it is.
There we go.
Very dapper with the monocle and cane and the top hat.
Very monopoly.
That's for
That's a
sure.
nice label, let me tell you.
That is very steampunk.
No, I have a steampunk clock in the corner of my room, which is very weird that you said that.
I know these things.
I'm not, well, apparently. And we talked about that, so I believe you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're gonna.
Mike,
how
are you feeling, Mike?
am I feeling? Warm. I'll tell you how I'm feeling. I've been at the chiropractor twice this week, and I don't feel like I need to go anymore this week. So
I was going to say, can either Mike or AJ feel their extremities anymore?
I feel all of my extremities perfectly right now.
I'm good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to prove it by getting the other beer that I was talking about before we get the wheel going. Think about some ideas, what we're going to add. We're going to take off the same brewery. Someone's got to
I have a really good idea.
Nice.
All right.
Probably going to hate me for it, but I have a really good idea.
Pitch it, baby.
Throw it out there.
Sours.
Yeah.
I just did a lambic tonight, and I am fully behind that.
I could totally get a sour. I could do that.
Wait, who?
Sour.
Oh, Kevin popped off. Sorry,
I think Kevin's actually part of Hanson.
Oh, he has to run. Okay, there we go.
All right, I'm going to finish this off with a toasty nut abduction.
There you go.
You said abduction.
I said nut.
Yeah, that's where Jody would have lost it just
You guys don't
now.
understand how much I need Pipeworks in my life, and I can't get it.
I'll get you some, sir. I'll get you plenty.
Pipeworks is really good, by the way. Thank you for those, by the way, Mike.
What did I send you,
talk later?
Oh wait,
What's that?
oh God, no. Okay, Skylar, AJ,
Yes.
raspberry abduction just came back out. You
Really?
need one of those, yeah. Because the toasty nut it's all right.
It's so
Right.
good, dude. It is so good.
Raspberries the shit.
Yes,
All right.
I think personally this could be a taste issue because I hear Mike in the background and it sounds like it's like, dude, the toasty nut abduction is bringing it, and I am not a big proponent, but that's a taste issue, you know.
Right.
Dude,
And-
it's got coconut. It's so good. I don't know. When you said that yesterday,
I'm sorry.
I opened this and I was like,
if a beer says it has coconut, it needs to bring it like Maui Coconut Porter. Because Maui Coconut Porter is the only coconut beer that I've had that has actually tasted like coconut.
well, I'm not saying that that's not the prevalent taste in there, but it's in there, and I it's detected. It's just a good beer. I just didn't know I didn't like it so much, Dan.
I didn't think it was a bad beer. I just think the whole reason I was like, if it's gonna say toasty nut, it better not be bringing the coconut. It better be bringing the nuttier flavors like walnut or peanut or something.
That's the majority of the flavor I'm getting out of it. So.
I'm not. I got the coffee and chocolate, and that was it. And I got more subtle flavors, but I was like, all right.
There's plenty of abductions out there to choose from.
I have
There's a lot of those.
I have a huge debate / question / conversation that I've been having with a lot of people about using nuts in beer and how you can do it without contaminating your system with people with nut allergies and all of that kind of stuff.
No, you can't.
Well,
How to
you
get that
can-
nut flavor in there, and
It's
I
from what
guess-
I know
Go
where
ahead.
you're going. My understanding is it's hard to brew with nuts because there's natural oils in it that kind of mess up with the brewing process. But there's a product out there, if I'm not mistaken, called P2 or something like that, where it's like, or PB2.
Right, for
Um,
peanuts. But
Yeah, it's like
that's it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's what a lot of brewers use. I know Shorts out of Michigan, they use PB2 a lot. It's like a powdered peanut kind of a.
Yeah, but I I have a recipe that I need to use pecans in.
All right.
And I haven't brewed it yet just because I don't want to contaminate our system.
Yeah, no. I mean, once you get the essential oils in there, I mean, getting them out is a whole other issue. Yeah, because and that's a totally different issue than what we're talking about, which is a flavor issue. You're talking about a systemic, about the only thing that I can think of is change the hoses. If you brew it, change the hoses.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, and even there, I mean, as long as you like flood that with the proper cleaner and then the proper.
And the whole debate, like the whole thing, I've had this conversation a long time. Do you use actual nuts? Do you use an extract? Do you use like some sort of like artificial whatever?
You know what? Personally, this would be my advice when it comes to getting actual flavor and avoiding the contamination issue.
Yeah.
Go with extracts afterwards, because you're avoiding the contamination issue.
I want to use all natural flavor.
Well, and extract is natural in its way. It's like
that it is.
I just figured out what we're adding to the wheel.
All right, what are you adding?
The wheel. Let's find out.
Nut beer.
Nut beer.
Nut beer.
Nut beer in there.
That's just
Pecans. Pecans specifically.
We could do
those are not in season right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Pecans could be in a nut beer, so we'll just make it.
In the South, we say pecan. At least where I'm from, we say pecan.
Pecan.
Yeah, pecan.
Yep. All right, I'm going to apply these changes here, and we're going to spin this wheel.
That's nutty.
Is it spinning? Yeah, here we go.
Yes, it is.
What's it say? What we got here?
Doppelbock.
All right, we're Doppelbocking it next week.
That's awesome.
I'll try to find some.
Oh God, I'm not going to be here. I don't think.
Classic
I will probably be on the way back from Boston, so I may not be here for this episode. That's going to be up in the air. But if I am here, I will bring a Doppelbock. But it will probably be from Boston.
There you go.
Sounds good, man. Well, thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it. Oh shit, AJ's not there. He's not going to know we're even going.
I'll tell him later.
Oh, there it is. AJ, I'm signing off. We're gonna do Doppelbox next week.
Doppels.
Yep. That's what we landed on. All right, we're gonna get signing off. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. We will see you guys next week at 8 p.m. Central Time, like we do every week. Thanks for watching, everybody. And subscribe to our channel. What you got there?
I said after party starting in 10, 9, 8.
All right. Bye.
See you guys.
Cheers.